Hey Hebrew fans, this is Todd, and yes, I just quickly put together this video. I just made some parts that I haven't made for a little while, and these are used for my Castle Grayskull Ultimate, Castle Grayskull Extra pieces above and beyond. So as you guys know, we got this cool ghost, and I made a special riser piece for it, and then I also have a piece here to extend the top of your castle to put on this piece here. So without further ado, let's go and break off some supports and let's get going. And it's funny, I wasn't going to make these again because I've made so many in the past, but today I had a guy and he's buying the whole entire floor set and walls and everything else. And he says, hey, do you still have that part for the top of the castle when you put on Point Dread? And I was like, and I started thinking, I know I got the file somewhere. I'll go and test print it first and see if it works before I let this guy know for sure. So I started the test print on it. Then he goes, hey, the riser too for the Spirit of Grayskull. So I started test printing that too. And so I ended up telling him that if these fit, when they work, I will just include them free in with his floors and walls. Normally I don't do that, but being he's kind of taking a little bit of risk because they may or may not work. I didn't want to charge him any money for it, obviously, because what if they don't work? So this is that video. This is the video it's going to test and see if these parts actually fit and work correctly into the castle. I think they will. I haven't altered them in a long time, and hopefully I found the right ones. One time, years ago, I used to make these parts. Well, I've been making them again lately for the Classics Castle Grayskull, and it's a little arch and a little floor for the upper floor. And somebody asked me after I've been not doing it for a long time if I could make some more for them. And I said, sure, I can do that. And so I went and I printed the parts, and it looked good, and I mailed them off to him. And I didn't test the fit. And he wrote back and said, they don't fit right. And then I'm like, well, you got to have the floor pieces in. Without the floor pieces, it won't work. He goes, no, I got the floors in. It's like you made them for not the floors. I'm like, what? So I went back, looked at the file, and sure enough, I sent him or printed one that was like about 1.5 inches too tall. And so then I had to go back and find my original files, and it took a while. So now before I mail stuff, I always do a fit check ever since that time when I had that wrong part mailed. Because here I mailed the parts off to him all the way to his place after I printed them. Never checked them here at the house. And then when he got them, he's like, these don't fit, man. So, yes, so that is part of my process now is before I mail parts out, I always stick them in, make sure they fit. And it's funny because I've actually wanted to get rid of this castle because I have a Classics castle, but I can't because if anybody orders any floors or any other parts, I have nothing to fit check them with. So there you go. So these castles are still sitting around mostly for fit check stuff to make sure when I make something or sell something that they still fit. Because sometimes things just go wrong in cattywampus when you go to put it into the slicer. And I've had stuff before just get really weird outputs. Or the machine's not calibrated right and things come out wrong too. So it's always good to check. All right. I got most supports off here. Now, as you guys know, when you buy 3D parts from me, there's always some roughness to them. That's just a given. You have to sand it when you get it. I used to sand and paint all the parts or a lot of them as an option, but I'm just tired of painting them. So now I just send them this way. I'll give you guys directions if you want to paint your own. And, but you have to buy them all undone. All right, let me get my garbage can. Let's see who's on here for comments. Hey, Juan Solo, thanks for joining me from Puerto Rico. All right. Now, the bad part is because I don't paint these anymore is it's not going to match the castle because that part's stinky. It doesn't match. But again, I will tell you guys exactly what to buy and all the paints and everything else if you do buy from me ever in the future. All right, let's go and test the riser first because this is the one I was most worried about. So here's the riser. And I'm not sure what happened. Look, it got a little hot on the bed or something, or that might just be the previous color. I was, oh, you know what? I was running green before that. That's what's going on there. I thought I purged it all out, but maybe not enough. Anyway, so here is the riser. And what's cool about this riser is, let me show you what's so cool about this. Is right up here. You're supposed to take your Spirit of Grayskull Ghost, and he's supposed to go right here. Right here. He's got a little bump to fit in the hole, and this little spot right here is centers around it. So you stick him in there, just like so. And that's all well and good from this side, but when you turn this thing around, turn around. All right. Now your Spirit of Grayskull is mostly covered by the castle itself. And it's like, wow, all that cool detail is lost in, sorry about this camera movement stuff. It's all lost in the height of this right here. And that was just really bugging me. And so somebody asked me one time, they said, can't you make something to lift that up? So I was working on it, and it actually came about because they also wanted a lighted version of this. So this is my riser, and it just literally fits nice and perfectly on here. Ta-da! And this raises it up that extra little bit. Now, besides being raised, we also got a spot to put your light. Now, let's take a look and see what lights fit in here. Let's see, that one says old. There we go. Here's a new light. So you can use these lights here, I believe. Yes, I made it big enough to fit these big giant lights. And you can buy these on Amazon. They are garden lights that are made to put in water, and they seal and stuff. And there we go. Let's see if I got my phone over here programmed to turn the lights off or not. No, not this one. It's my other phone that does. Okay, that stinks. I can't turn the lights off right now during this live feed. But you can see when you stick that in there, the bottom part glows. And if it was darker in here, you could see that would actually cause the rest to kind of go a little bit too glowing. So let's go ahead and stick it back into the castle with the riser and the light. Meanwhile, I'll try to figure out how to get these lights off. All right, so light first, and then the riser. There we go. Da-da-da. Let me try to get these lights off. Hold on a second. The video might pause for a second or do something weird while I look for my light app. Okay. Whew. I finally got my lights off. Now, okay. Whew. I finally got my lights off. Now let's kill the TV light. Burp. And let's turn off the light on the camera. Where is my switch for this? There we go. And see, now you can turn the Spirit of Grayskull into any color you want on top of your castle. Ooh, how cool is that? All right, let me turn the light back on here. There we go. Ooh, bright light, bright light. So that is the riser. Now you can use a smaller light too with this as well. So we tested out one of the parts. Why isn't, I'm turning the wrong knob. Boop. Now, of course, since the light's coming from the bottom, it's extra bright on the bottom. And it also works if you happen to have bought my custom ghost a long time ago. It works with the custom one too that glows in the dark. So where is my glowing flashlight? My wife always laughs at me. If my head wasn't connected, I would have lost it a long time ago. There it is. let's charge this thing up, shall we? Burp. Let's turn this light off. Look at that. Glowing and a crazy light. Fun, fun, fun. All right. Oh, bright light, bright light. Okay, so the riser works. So, cool news is, yes, you'll be getting the riser because that works just fine. And like I told that guy, I'll toss it in for free since he took a chance on me and purchased it before I knew it would fit. The next piece now is this, and I'm not going to turn my room lights back on. We just got to deal with the one light. Sorry about that, you guys. And this is made because in this Castle Grayskull, it was made such a way that you can put this tower piece on top, just like so. And now your tower is taller, and you got all kinds of cool stuff. And you can put on a cool spaceship on here called the Talon Fighter as well. So you put your Point Dread piece on there. Now the problem with this is your standard Master or your standard Origins figures. Well, she fits, but the men do not fit. When you put the man figures in there, their head hits right here, especially the new Filmation ones. They just do not fit inside there. So I made this little riser piece right here. And this riser piece just brings it up a little bit. Let's see if it fits. Hey, that fits nice. And then this just goes right on top. There we go. And now you got a plethora of room in here so that a figure can stand without any issue at all. And I made this little opening right here so you can actually take and put your gun through there like a gun turret. So you can still blam, 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 blam. And then you can have that in there. Now, also, I made it so it can work on this tower as well when it's not connected to the castle. So if you have a third wall over here connected, you can put it in the third wall. When I did it, I didn't realize that this hinge went up so high. And you can see right there, that little corner. And so when it's not attached, it fits on just fine. When it's attached, it rides on that hinge as part of this front piece here. But if you're dealing with the two walls, you can actually put this on the other side for that second wall. Now, the bad part is it's the wrong color. But again, I will send you all the information. And it doesn't fit on there super tight. So if you do push forward, it will just all kind of fly apart. So that's the bad part too. But once the Talon Fighter's on, the weight of the Talon Fighter kind of keeps it there. You can also use some poster putty too. So make sure it's on there as good as possible. Let me turn this around so you guys can see the other side. Oh, now I lost my Point Dread. Point Dread! Okay, let's turn this around. And you can see how it looks on the outside. It's got some brickwork to it. Kind of cool that way. So it does match the aesthetic of the castle, just not the color. But if you want the color match, you'll have to do that yourself. And what's funny is people have actually bought this from me, even without the Point Dread, just to increase the height of their external tower right there, or for the gun to sit in, which is kind of a cool idea. Because if you don't have the Talon Fighter and Point Dread, it's also cool just fit in the hole, just as a way to give you a little extra shielding for your characters when they're using the gun or whatever. At least now you got some side cover in there as well. So kind of a little bit of a bunker down. All right. So that one works too. So the guy who ordered the floors on eBay that I talked to in the messages today, these two parts will be yours. And everybody else, I'm going to start putting these on eBay as well. So if you wanted to buy these in about a week, they will be on eBay with a 6-week a turnaround time, just like I do on all my other stuff that I sell. All right, that is it. That is it. So cool for you, guy. I got these for you. These will be included free in your box. But everybody else, I'll figure out what I charged for them originally in the past and stick them on eBay for everyone else to purchase. All right, let's check out your guys' final comments while I'm sitting here in the dark with just one light on. And let's see what you guys said. The Ghost Riser. Yes. Another brick in the wall. Exactly. I should call it the Pink Floyd package. AD, ugh. More plastic magic. So much glow. Hey, thanks, Hellcat76. He says, sweet, my favorite. Nice. I haven't figured out the price point yet. I did have it I do have it listed in a Word document, so I'll go back and look at that Word document and find out what I was charging and see if it still works. The clapper. Yes. Usually I just say lights on, lights off, but when I'm running a live video stream, I can't do that, and my other phone is in the other room. Hey, Ralph, thanks for joining us. Jessica, thanks for being here. All right. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate you guys all showing up. And it was funny. I don't know why. This just drove me crazy when Mattel released this. With the green color they used, they could have made it glow in the dark, and that's why I made my own. It's not exactly the same. You'll see the arms are a little different, the head's a little different, but it's pretty similar. I made sure the base was the same so it could fit onto the castle without a problem. And it is a little bit heavier, but it is cool because it does glow. Yeah, oh, check this out. For those that are new to my channel, wait till you see this. Wait till you see this. Anyway, so here we got Z Ghost. And as you guys know, I love my classics. And so I looked at the comic book and saw how big the Spirit of Grayskull should be in comparison to the castle. And if you take a look at the picture, it shows He-Man on his battle cat with Teela, and they're quite a ways away from the castle. And then you see the ghost coming out of the castle in the background up at the top. And it's about the same size, maybe a little shorter than the castle itself. So check this out. Check this out. Oh, every time I look at it, I forget how cool it looks. Bah, bah, bah. So this is my Spirit of Grayskull, and this is why I made this in the first place for my classics. And it is awesome. Now, the bad news is when I made it, I didn't want green glow in the dark, so I made it white glow in the dark. And no, I'm not selling any of these. It took way too long to print and too many possible errors. But let me go ahead and turn off the light so we can charge this up and take a look at it. Where is that switch? There it is. Let me charge this thing up. Now, I did paint it with some blues and greens to kind of give it a cool offset color. So let's go in. The green one always glows way brighter than the white. The white glow is not very bright, which is why it's kind of a bummer I did it in white. But I don't know. Someday I might remake it in green. It just takes so long to charge. Charge. All right. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, there is the white Spirit of Grayskull. Like I said, I painted some green here. I painted some blue up here on it so you can kind of see that. And then, of course, the green one always glows brighter. So when you turn it around, it's a little darker on the back because I only shown the light on the front. This one's probably a lot darker. Oh, yeah, look at the pit down there. Brrr. So, there you go. There is my giant. And to give you an idea of how big this is, where is... one of my, here we go. Here's He-Man. He-Man. And you can just see the size of He-Man comparison. Let me charge this up again. Do. So there is He-Man standing in front of the Spirit of Grayskull. And it's just a little shorter than Origins Castle Grayskull. Ridiculous. All right, let me turn my light back on. Oh, bright light, bright light. All right, let me check out your guys' final comments. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate it. Thanks, Ralph. No toilets. What do you think the throne is, man? AD advertisements. Oh, okay. Oh, did you guys have an ad? Oh, that stinks. Thanks, YouTube. All right. Hopefully you still saw all the content. Anyway, but yeah, I just don't get why they didn't do a little more with this. I mean, it is cool. I like the little rubbery arms in the original, but if they would have made it glow in the dark and maybe a little bit of shading on it, would have been way cooler. Don't get me wrong, I do like it, but I use my glow in the dark one more than I do my green one. All right, that's all I got. And again, if you're just tuning in, I was just testing some parts. These right here. This is a piece that extends the height of the point dread on top of Castle Grayskull, and this is a riser that extends the height of your Spirit of Grayskull. And you can also put a light in front inside of it. And you got to have it just right or it won't go on. There it is. No, it's not the spot. There it is. It's funny how I made this. I actually took and scanned this on my scanner printer, and just laid it on the scan bed, and then just ran the light over it. Beep, 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 and I knew it was 600 dots per inch, so I did the math to create this indent right here of the exact same shape as this, and that is how I got that to fit so perfectly. Look at that. Look at that. So there you go. All right, that is it. I am done flapping my jaw about my cool stuff. This always reminds you of one of those things like for your teeth or something, like you stick it in your mouth full of teeth whitening stuff. Of course, you gotta have a pretty big mouth to fit that in there. All right, last chance for comments. So not dentures. No, not dentures. The high-pitched do sound in the episodes crack me up. Oh yes, those are funny. The white one was when it was new. Ah! Thanks, Danny. All right, that's it. Until next time, like they always say in the 1987 movie, good journey. Good journey, you guys. Bye now.